Hello friends, now we are going to learn how to implement Restful API using Node.js. So basically you need to have Node.js installed in your system. So you can download the Node.js from official website of Node.js. You can download this. Now I have kept it for downloading. So after it is done, then already I have installed it in my system. So for checking purpose, you can just verify whether it got installed or not. Node-v. So it's giving the version of 14.15.4. So now you need to open the VS Code, which is an editor for doing code. So if you don't have this VS Code, you can just download it from Google. So for Windows, based on your OS, you can download it. So you can download this one and it will get installed in your system. So let me open my VS Code. So let's start with generating the app.js file. So new file, save it as. So now I'm going to save it as app.js. Okay. So let's start with hello world, printing hello world. So console.log hello world. So you need to go to this path. We are in the node space app.js. So it's taking part of C. So let's run node space app.js. So we are done. So let's see how to implement that post, put, and delete API. So basically you need to import the Express JS framework. Importing Express require Express. So next const app equal to Express function. So this is used to create an Express application. So we are going to define a constant port 8000. So a project is going to listen on port 8000 and we are going to have one callback function which will let us know if the app is listening or not. If the app started listening to it, then this console.log will get printed. App listening on port. Okay, so let's check whether it's working or not. So it's giving error of cannot find module express. So what you need to do, you just need to install that library, npm install express -n and save. So it's done. Let's check whether it's working or not. Node space app.js. So it's giving app listening on port 8000. Okay. So next, let's start with get API. Okay. So app dot get. First one will be the route, and second one will be the callback function. And here we can have request and response as the parameters. So here we can keep it as it is, or else we can give get students or something. And here we can send status colon success message can be get API called. Okay. So let's check whether it's working or not. Now our application is running on port 8000. So for verifying whether this, now we don't have front end, right? So we can use one application called Postman. You can download it from Chrome. Postman, you can download it as a separate application, or else you can use, or else use, or you can download from this download Postman. This one, it's taking time. So, or else you can use Chrome extension of Postman. Postman Chrome. So I have already added it. If you might not have added it already, so it might have shown it as add app. So already I have done. So it's showing launch app. So it will open it. Okay, so I'm going to open the application which I downloaded from Chrome. So let's start with verifying whether our API is working or not. So let me use this one, this endpoint. So our application is listening on port 8000. So I have given as 8000 and slash get students. This is get API I have selected. So I'm going to hit on send. So it's giving success is not defined. Okay, let me give it as string. So let's check. So we have got the response. Okay, so let's move on to next API, post. So here also the same thing, app dot. Previously it was get. for get API. So for post, we need to use post. And here what we will have first the path, and then next we will have callback function, request comma response. So post student data. So let's send the same response, success, post API called. So here in post we can send the request body like uh, so let's take this path and copy, add it here, and this is post I have selected, and let me take a new one. Okay, so I'm going to create one new one, post student data. Okay, sorry, slash post student data, and what we have mentioned here, this is post API, so we will select post here, and I told now that we can send request body. So how to send that? Select this one and select raw JSON. Okay. So here you can send the data which you want to send. For example, now it's API is post student data. Okay. So we can send name colon test make it in double quotes, roll number colon 12. Okay. So uh, we can access this value here. For a short form of console.log, we can just write log and press tab. Okay, so request body and request dot body. Okay, so let's check whether it's working or not. So it's getting called. Okay, success post API called, and in request.body it's giving undefined because it's not able to pass the request body. So since you got undefined inside request body, so now you need to add this two lines, app.use express.url encoded of extended colon true and app.use of express.json. So now we are getting name whatever we are sending inside request body. So this is post API. Now let's move on to put API. So app dot same thing we have to repeat here. App dot put, we have the path and then callback function, request, comma response. So here slash put update update student data. Okay, so same thing here we can send response dot send status colon success message update API or else put API. Okay, so let's check. Click on add, update student data, and then click on put. So let's check. So here it's giving, since we didn't reload the application, since we are reloading it again and again, we can just do one thing. We can install nodemon, by which we can continuously run the application irrespective of the changes we are doing. So it's done. Okay, so let's type nodemon app.js. So it's giving this error. Let's check. We are on the drive. So let's check nodemon space filename.js, nodemon app.js. So now it's working. Okay. So let's check. So whatever we are changing, it just compiles the application again. So let's check. So we got the response. Okay. So let's move on to delete API. Delete. So here we have port, right? So instead of this, we need to add delete. And here we can just give any path, delete student data or something. So similarly, we can just send some response. Okay. So now you don't need to restart the application because we are using nodemon, which continuously compiles the application based on our changes. Okay, so delete student data. Okay, so delete student data, and here we will select delete one. So let's, okay, we got the response. Okay, now we are done with RESTful API, get API, post API, put API, and delete API. Another we have, that is similar to put API, we have patch API. So difference between put and post is that put, inside put we can just send the entire body. Suppose we have connected our application to a DB like a MongoDB or SQL. So while updating the data inside table or inside table, we can use either put or patch API. So while when we need to change the entire fields in the table, then at that time we can use put API. Then we just need to, change one field data, like we need to update the status of particular uh, task or something. Just we need to update single field. At that time we can use this patch API when we like when we want to update single field and not the entire columns data. And put API is used when we want to update all the fields or all column values inside a table. Okay, got it? So, similarly, how to write patch API? App.patch, path, and then callback function, request, comma response. Okay, so similarly, we can send response.send. Okay, status colon success, and message patch pair. Okay, so you can give patch student data. Okay, so now I have given the path get students and post student data. Even if you don't give this uh, any suffix after this slash, it will work. So let's check whether patch student data is working or not. Okay, copy that one. I have copied that one, old one. So let me change the path of it, patch student data. And since this is patch, so we need to select patch here, and let's click on send. So I have got the response.